good morning, and welcome to Terri TV. Gosh, I hope I didn't put I hope I put 9:45 because my goodness, I've had a really exhausting week. I'm Terri Hardiin, Walt Disney's legendary Imagineer, Muppeteer, and all around pop icon. You can see that today I might be just a touch off, and that's because I've had life. My husband always says, we plan, God laughs when it comes to life. So I had a little bit of that this weekend. I won't, get into the tawdry details, but I will talk about uh, the exciting. If you saw my little thing, and I can see up in here that I didn't finish my thought with Mary Poppins. Man, I was beat. I had a really emotional weekend. And I could feel myself. You ever had one of those days? Before I ask you if you've ever had one of those days, if you're just joining us, welcome. And if you're watching this and I'm not live, it may be that I am live and just really tired. No, welcome again. Please subscribe if you enjoy this freeway type of thinking. This channel is basically my thoughts and opinions, and it's just that, my thoughts and opinions. It is a bit of a freeway. I do change lanes often. So hang on, and if you're someone who likes holding the tail of a comet, you're in the right place. If not, have fun, and feel free to step away if you must. Hi, everyone. So, have you ever had one of those days where you think you can get this under control? And I was writing the explanation, and I made the thumbnails, which are those things that come in the beginning, with my Terri TV on one side and then what the topics are going to be. And I wanted to talk about Mary Poppins, the Julie Andrews version, of course, because for me, there is no other Mary Poppins. If for you like the new one, you have every right to like the new one, and feel free to post in the comments if you want to. But me, I didn't like the new one. I didn't like it at all. So for me, there is no other Mary Poppins other than the Julie Andrews version. So when I talk about Mary Poppins, I'm talking about the Julie Andrews version. But I wanted to tell you that there were a lot of surprises for me when I saw Mary Poppins on Saturday. So how did this happen? Being someone who is quite gregarious, if I do say so myself, I was invited by an amazing podcast group called Antiques and Collectibles. This team is a bunch of very like-minded people, very wonderful people who invite people like myself, Imagineers, etc., to share with them their special collectibles. So you go on the show and you talk about a collectible that might be old or unique, or in my case, being a sculptor and a creator, I can hold one up and go, look what I made. I was trying to think if there was something I could show you that was in this room that I made, but unfortunately, I don't think I'm anywhere near anything that I made. But no, I can't show you my Cheshire Cat, or I can't show you my Groot, and I can't show you my Remy. But if you want to see those next time, I can show them to you. But if you're new, just new to the whole thing, and you're like, Terri, what have you done? Google Terri Hardiin, and it will show you a plethora of things that I've been up to. Dragon's Lair Paris was my big deal with Disney as an Imagineer, among other things. Big Thunder Paris, and then I do collectibles about yay big. That are pretty exciting. And right now I am currently about to, please, Lord, please, I'm ready to get back and do the Rolly Crump chess set. I have been doing this before. Well, thank you. Wow, I'm just going to leave that. Okay, I was going to show you a picture, which is why I'm futzing. But anyway, the Rolly Crump chess set was the last, see, I have trouble because it's Monday. The last collaboration between Rolly and another artist. And that artist, I'm honored to say, is yours truly, Terri Hardiin. And so Rolly and I gathered together, and we had had a dream of creating this lovely. Oh, I do have that. Oh, that's good to know. All right, forgive me. Um, we had this dream. I'm just looking for my favorites. There it is. It was right in front of me. Guys, please forgive my goofiness right now, but I'm going to get you to the Rolly Crump chess set. So, Rolly and I wanted to do something with and for Rolly. And I love his Museum of the Weird, like I'm sure many of you do. And so, as a result, I am creating a chess set called Rolly Crump's Museum of the Weird chess set. Ooh, doesn't have a nice ring to it. Rolly was very, very 100% vested in this, and I became the sculptor through which he sculpted, all the way up until the day he passed away. It's been his 1 year anniversary was last month in February. So he said, "You will be my last collaboration. I am honored to work with you." All the things that a young artist or artist of any age likes to hear from someone they admire. And I really, really loved Rolly Club more and his wife very, very much. And I still do. It's not in the past. I still love them very much. And it is my mission to get this done. So he sent me a sheet with his choices for the chess set. And then Rolly also said he wanted them to be 6 inches tall. I will get to Mary Poppins. But let me show you what I do. This is one. You can see this. This is the bishop. And Rolly didn't do these. He did them with me. I sculpted them for Rolly. So there they are. They are 6 inches tall. And let me tell you something about these guys. Okay, I have them individually shot too. Let me see if I can find them by themselves so that you can see them a little better. And if I was in my studio, you'd really see them well. But guys, you got to just bear with me on that because I'm super tired and I just don't know if I'm going to be, when I'm going to be back in my studio because I just don't know. I just don't know. Well, it doesn't look like I have I thought I had him by himself, but it doesn't look like I do. But I can show you anyway. We'll stick with this one. We'll stick with this one. Boop. So there it is. We'll stick with that one. And what I'll do is I'll zoom in on this one so you can see. That is the bone white color. And then this one is the blood red color, both handpicked by Rolly. And those are the colors of the chess pieces. And again, they are just under 6 inches tall, which makes the chessboard really big. And I tried to talk him into a smaller, but he didn't want it. And since I am the sculptor through which he sculpted this project, and it is a collaboration between the two of us, that's the size. Will it be an investment to own the entire chess set? Yes, it will. How many editions will be? I don't know. As an artist, all I wanted to do is make one for Rolly and his lovely wife. And then after that, it's all gravy. So when speaking with Rolly, what we decided to do as a unit was to create a chess set for anyone. Well, not for anyone, but for people who wanted it. We're just going to find out. We just got to figure out how big the edition's going to be because it will be, guys, quite an investment. It's a lot of figures. So it's not going to be a couple $1,000s. It's going to be quite a bit. It's going to be, I don't know yet. I have to finish them. I finished 3. I got to finish the other 3. When my dad passed away, he put a real kink in my armor. And so I'm about to start it up again. I'm hoping I can get back on the project April 1st. But I need to talk to his lovely wife. And both of us needed a little time to grieve. And I will sit with her at least on Zoom or on a text or an email, and I'll ask her if I can release the Rolly Crump, at least the pre-sale in October, because that was Rolly's favorite month. So stay tuned for more great pictures. I'll be better pictures and shots because I will be back in my studio where I have my switcher system, so I won't have to hold the phone up to you. But lately, I've just had too much adult stuff to do. So going out there has too many art distractions that I would love to be involved in. So this is a way that I keep from doing things that I want to do and doing things I must do. Does it make sense to you guys? I hope so. I hope so. I hope it makes sense. Anyway, that's the deal. And that's what I do. I am a sculptor. I do lots of really fun, cute little figures. Let me show you one more that's available. I make appearances. I was just at MouseCon. I will be at the Disneyana Fan Club and the Chuck Jones Red Dot auction. All of it is cool. So I hope you will join me. If you have any questions, email me, Terri@terrihardiin.com. That's how you can get me. But I also did this little Cheshire Cat, which will be available at locations where I am going to be. I have about 20 left. I do editions of 50. He's $250 to have him autographed by me in a very special box. So there he is. And if you want your own little Cheshire Cat, there he is. He's very cute. And his eyes glow. Did I mention his eyes glow? Yes. So when you turn the lights off, his eyes glow and nothing, eyes and teeth glow like he does in the Alice in Wonderland film. So that's just a couple of things to tell you what I'm doing now. I also am responsible for Dragon's Lair Paris. If you've been there and seen the Dragon's Lair, that's my design. And there you go. Okay, so Mary Poppins. When you read the caption, you must have said, what about Mary Poppins? Oh, I was really tired, guys. I'm sorry. Mary Poppins, wow, was what I was going to say. So the podcast, Antiquities and Collectibles, I was on, and I was sharing some of my art. And of course, you can look them up. They're on Facebook, and they interview all kinds of wonderful people. And they decided to include me in that mix, which is so kind. And I shared some art that I was doing and talked about some history. And I don't think I showed any collectibles from that were sort of older. But I will, But it's kind of stuff. Let me see. It's kind of stuff. I'm not sure if I have a Disney thing here. Let me see if I have a Disney piece here that's older. I don't think I do. I don't think I have the older. I thought I had an older Disney record, but I don't think I do. Yeah, I don't. I don't have an older Disney piece, but I do have them around. I just didn't think to show them to you today, which is kind of silly of me. How silly of me. Anyway, yeah. I do have this. This is a dinosaurs VHS. I worked on this film, and I got to play Baby Sinclair. I don't see, well, on the back, you can see the picture of Baby. This is the character right here that I was Team Baby on. So I do have these. I do have these still. That's the best I can do right now. I'm sorry. Ay. Prepared much? No. Anyway, Mary Poppins. So I was invited to go and go to the El Capitan and hear the great organ music of Rob Richards. And I have to say that it was quite a joyful experience. Again, I'm looking through my phone, and the reason I'm doing that is because I'd like to show you a picture of Rob doing his magic. This is what I saw when I went. This is, of course, Rob in the middle. It's hard to see him because his jacket is so sparkly that you wouldn't even be able to see it if I had it on the proper camera, which I don't. But I was invited. I was picked up at my home and driven to the El Capitan. And then once we were at the El Capitan, we were invited in because he is not only a cast member of the El Capitan, he is one of the big draws. Many of you go out to see him play because he plays so well. And I just met him. So I did the podcast in February, and then I said, why don't we go eat? And we went and ate, and Rob came, and that's where I first met him. And we got to talk about his art and his life and his music and all wonderful things about what was going on and everything. And so it was nice when he invited the Antiquities and Collectibles to come and see him. And then he said, invite Terri if you'd like to. And of course they said yes. And they took me there. I had not been at the El Capitan since Country Bears. That's right. That amazing show. Here it is on DVD. See, I came a little prepared. I played this character right here. This is Trixie and also Big Al in the movie. I was not in the suit, but the puppeteer did the face. So there she is, that beautiful blonde bear in the middle. Anyway, that was the last time I went to see Country Bears on the big screen, and that's when I was invited to, and that's when I saw the El Cap. So it's been a while. And one of the things I noticed right away is that the El Cap has digital movie posters. So the movie posters are no longer paper. They are digital. And the manager of the theater explained to me that the movie posters, that's the way they do them now. That they have a few paper ones, and that's because they have this thing where you can have a birthday party there and hire out the theater or hire out a section, or maybe they do a cake or something. I didn't really delve into what that's about, but that might be a fun way to have a birthday. I might ask more about that later, because that could be a fun party experience. And I guess they give rolled one sheets to the kids, that mostly kids go, So anyway, it was a wonderful experience. And Mary Poppins was on the big screen. I haven't seen Mary Poppins on the big screen since I was about 30 years old. And I'm 66 and 1/2. I'll be 67 in June. So that's been a while. Yeah. And I noticed that I saw Mary Poppins differently. Now, one of the reasons that I saw Mary Poppins differently, I'll tell you right off the bat, is I'm so used to the big screen experience. And this is the smaller, a 35 millimeter. Now, it's the size of a 35 millimeter print. And if you don't understand what I'm saying, I'm sorry, Google it. But that's the way movies were, 35 millimeters back in the day. And then Star Wars came out and it was 70. And now people have digitally, they can be a lot larger, a lot more detail. Pros and cons on that. But it was also a digital print of Mary Poppins. It was not film. And one of the things about film, those of you who don't know much about film, is film allowed people to work within some of the areas that sort of camouflage. So makeup artists could do certain things that, because it was film, that it wouldn't show up. But when digital came along, it was like if you had an astigmatism and you went from 1 to 2, all of things crystal clear, and all of a sudden you're seeing netting on people's heads, like in The Hobbit, or things like that when they were wearing wigs, or the lines when they have fake noses, etc., etc. So the makeup artists had to really beat feet, as well as many other people, to make sure that they stepped their makeup game up, their hair game, their clothing game, their digital game up, because the detail was really showing now, veins in the hand sort of thing. So I do miss film, I do. But Mary Poppins had a lot of clarity. And the first thing I noticed about Mary Poppins was that when she arrives to see the kids, and when she leaves, once the family is all better, thanks to her genius, it was a puppet. Now, all the times I've seen Mary Poppins, and I've only seen it on the big screen a couple of times when I was younger, as I said, younger being 30s. And I saw it before that on the big screen, of course, but I mean the last time, that it was a puppet. It wasn't, because I thought, how Disney is so known for their wonderful multiplane camera of the day. I thought they probably used something like that, where they used the multiplane camera and they did a little tiny photograph of Julie Andrews, and then they just sort of floated her across the background. I mean, if you look at the penguin sequences with Dick Van Dyke, that's multiplane. So I was kind of like, but I actually was happy to see that it was a puppet. The puppet doesn't look like her. Well, it looks like her in silhouette, because you're kind of looking at her, but her carpet bag is not a dark bag. It's a light bag. It's almost white, or it is white on the puppet. And then she's gained about 30, 40 pounds. But it's still cool for me to know that it's a puppet, not her. I mean, because I'm a puppeteer. So I was really tickled to notice that I hadn't noticed that before. I also I noticed so many things this time. My husband, of course, points out that when the little girl sees things jump up and down in the drawers, that it really looks odd and strange because they must have told this little girl just to stand and look. And then while they did the animation and in the film, there must have been a lot of things that make that look just a little bit better than it does digitally. It's still fun. It's still exciting. It's the same with the little bird on the finger, which was state of the art back then. And I still loved it. I mean, crystal clear. And yes, you could see it was a bird puppet, but I was like, who cares? It's cool, you know? And back in the day when Mary Poppins came, people hadn't seen a puppet bird sing. So it was cool. And it was on her finger. You know, there's stuff you got to camouflage. I don't think I need to tell you because we've seen a lot of that behind the scenes. Also, there was the sequence where Bert is playing, you know, he's the one man band. And I realized that it didn't matter whether the concertina was playing or not. There was concertina music. So when he's like this, the concertina music is playing. And you got to go, how does that work? Magic, I guess. The doesn't necessarily happen. And so it's a lot of sound without a lot of action happening. You go, how is that happening? But the reality of it is when an actor films something like that and you have so much of that stuff, the drum, the cymbals, the concertina and everything, it has to be quiet because you have to be able to not infect other aspects of the film. That way, if you wait and you film it MOS, meaning without sound, then you can put the sound is in as you want it and it doesn't get dirty. You know, being in the film industry for as long as I have, and with so many associates who are on various levels below and above the line in film, this just makes things easier. A lot of times when we shot things like dinosaurs and Ghostbusters, there was dialogue, but it was very, very controlled. And a lot of times the dialogue would be considered a scratch track, meaning that we would say the lines, but they would later be picked up in what's called ADR or later. You would sit in a booth, you would sync up, and you would then speak the words or do the voice at a later date. So it's crisp, clean, clear, so y'all can hear it, you know? So that's what that's all about. And so seeing that a lot of the stuff that Bert didn't really coincide with what was happening on Dick Van Dyke's body with this massive boom thing was interesting to observe because again, you're digital and again, you're seeing everything. So I noticed that. I also noticed that, you know, certain cuts that were a little odd because now they don't blend. They kind of bah, bah, you know. But then there's the sequence where the kids jump into the painting and go on their carousel adventure. Yeah. First thing I noticed, and that's of course where Mary Poppins is wearing her beautiful white dress, where many of you cosplayers have duplicated it, and so well, I might add. She looks so stunning in that, as does Bert, and it's very exciting to see that sequence. Um, uh, I noticed that Mary Poppins, uh, what do you call that? It's not an umbrella, parasol. Her parasol also had a bird handle. Okay, so I knew about the parrot that talks and the parrot handle that you see in the opening and the closing of the film, but she has a pink pastel parrot handle. If you hadn't seen that before, check it out. It's pretty cool. And it's a very pretty handle, but I never realized it was also a bird. It's not a parrot, but it is a bird head. And maybe Julie Andrews or Mary Poppins had something to do with bird heads. I never did read the books, but pretty fascinating to recognize that. One of the most disturbing and funny things that I noticed was the horses. I had to check this 3 times when I was watching the movie because those artists must have been either punking somebody or I don't know what. So their carousel horses, as you know, our own private carousel, all have lovely pastel horses. And everyone is riding a relaxed, serene horse except for little Michael, who is riding a maniacal horse. The horse is a demon. The horse has the angry, aggressive, insane face. That's the blue horse, the dark blue horse. No matter how they shoot this horse is wishing ill will on everybody it looks at. You got to see this thing. It is deranged, just like this. And Michael's riding it, and everybody's like, la, 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 la. And then that horse is, la, 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 la. It is scary. And even when Mary accepts the cup, the winning bouquet of roses and her trophy, that horse is on the sidelines glaring. It's really funny. It's funny. It is a scary horse. I would not want to be riding or get that horse's eye on me. That's for sure. If you haven't seen it, you got to check it out. It's quite comical. For me, it was like, oh my goodness. What didn't disappoint and never will is the step in time number. I absolutely love this number. I did not disappoint me. I was on the edge of my seat wanting to see it. And I love it. I think it's the one dance number that I've watched that doesn't feel like a dance number, even though everyone's well choreographed and they're dancing all together. It just feels like I'm on top of a rooftop watching some chimney sweep shake it off. And it's just lovely. It's so lovely. It's so lovely. And I just, that number is very special to me. So many other little things. My friend Philo Barnhart is the father and son in brown outfits at the Come Fly a Kite sequence. Philo Barnhart, who is a third generation Disney person, his father animated on Sleeping Beauty, and his mother was an ink and paint. So second generation, I guess, is really what you should say. Philo was the designer, one of the designers of The Little Mermaid, and the creator of many products that you know and love. And he is retired now, but he's still a joy. He can draw anything still. He's still wonderful. And Philo and I have been friends since we were well before we were 17 years old. I think we were 15 or 16 when we met and just became solid. And I just love him so much. But he was up for when he was a little boy. He met Walt Disney. I mean, his father used to bring him to work because his father is an animator. He did the backgrounds, a lot of the backgrounds, more than the animation, like a Claude Coates guy. Forgive me. Let me just take a sip. A zip of tea, as my friend says. And so his dad would bring him to work, and Walt would often walk the studios in those days, and he met Philo, and he really found Philo to be a fascinating young man. In fact, there's a wonderful picture of Walt sitting and as Philo on his knee, and Philo's holding like I think it's a cup of pencils, but it's a really sweet shot, so cute. And when they were doing Winnie the Pooh, Walt thought that Philo would make a good voice for Christopher Robin. So he was put in the plethora of kids, and like me and the voice of Figment, he came close to the finals, and I did too, but he didn't get it, and neither did I. So I didn't I went way far as the voice of Figment, and Philo went way far as the voice of Christopher Robin, but in the end, they chose someone else. In the case of Philo, he was very sad. He was a young boy, I think 5 maybe, and Walt felt kind of sorry because he saw that Philo really wanted it, and Walt didn't like to break the hearts of children. That wasn't his goal. So he told Philo, how would you like to be in the final sequence of Mary Poppins? And I think Philo said he really didn't know what that meant, but he said, "How would you and your dad like to come to the park and fly a kite in the final sequence?" And that it delighted Philo. And if you watch Mary Poppins, especially the digital version, you can really see Philo and his dad in the brown suits and caps, flying a kite and then sitting off to the side when Bert and everybody, I mean, when the family Banks talks. So it's really cool. It's really, really neat. And be sure to catch that. That was something that was really a great thing to see because digital really pulls up the light. It's not so atmospheric is the best word I can say. And so we were able to see Philo, and that was really cool. That was really, really fun. So there's lots of little bits and bots that, there are a lot of matte lines because of the matting process that they used, but you got to remember that they were cutting edge back then. And also they weren't planning on digital being the way this is seen. So digital shows a lot more of the things that you normally wouldn't see if it was film. But also it's cool to see those things because you can kind of see how things are done. And I'm always that kind of person. I personally like to see how things are done. That's me. I like to see how things are done. I went to China, Shanghai, and saw Shanghai Disney, and I rode the Pirates of the Caribbean. I rode it like 2 or 3 times. Well, one of the times it broke down, and that was my favorite time because I could see how it worked. The lights came up and I could see how they made the transition from audio animatronics into the computer generated images because it's a mix of everything there at that giant. It's really fun. You do all kinds of cool things on that attraction because China was big enough to house such a massive attraction. So if you get the chance to go to Shanghai, do not forget to ride Pirates, because that's going to be the only place Pirates can be because it's a really huge ride. In fact, the boat is not that attractive. It looks like a cereal box where they ripped a side off and threw all the people in. It's not a pretty boat, but they're looking to get as many people in the boat at a time. So it's a massive cereal box thing floating along as you go. But the effects and things as you watch it, you'll like it. If you're an animatronic person like me, you're not really a fan of the CG stuff. You don't want it to be all CG, which is probably why I haven't watched the Spider-Man thing with Marvel, because everybody says I got to have one of those suction cup things on my face. I'm not really interested in that. But I will do it. I promise I'll go check it out at some point. I'm just not as enthusiastic as seeing things with audio animatronics involved. That's my thing. And I really love to watch what the people at Imagineering do with the animatronics. So I like that better. I rode the submarine and I was really disappointed that, it's all kind of a big cartoon. So that for me, I do like the fact that I don't get asphyxiated when I'm waiting to get on the submarines. It's really nice that it smells like you start to think, gosh, I'd like some popcorn or French fries. But I miss the 3D. So China has the mixture. It's CG and audio animatronic, and the blending is beautiful. So for those of you who are a little concerned about Pirates of the Caribbean going there, as I was, you're really going to love it. Things happen that they can't do here with our pirates. And we love our pirates here. Please don't change it into that. It's nice to have our Pirates of the Caribbean in Disneyland Anaheim and then go see China's. That gives us a reason to go to China, by the way, Disney. That gives us a reason for us to go to Hong Kong and feel all zen and calm, like the big guy in Mulan, the animated version, not the live action, which I don't like. The live action, that is. I love the original Mulan. But you walk into the park in Hong Kong and you feel comfortable and comfy. That's because it's the only park that faces in a different direction than the others, and that's because of feng shui. Not the bourgeois frou-frou, grab a book and sort of feng shui your house kind of thing, but the 100,000-year-old feng shui. You walk in, more water features than any other park, and everything is very relaxing. From the time you walk through that front gate, you're going to be more relaxed than you've ever been, and you're going to wonder why. Feng shui. Okay? Very, 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 very honored there. And Hong Kong really loves their park, and they just redid it. And so many are telling me it's still beautiful. They tried to make a bigger castle, One of the challenges with the castle at Hong Kong is it's got a mountain range behind it. So no matter how big you make the castle, the mountain range is too close and always makes it look a little tiny, but it's still a wonderful thing. You may walk in and go, gosh, did I miss my flight? Because Hong Kong loved Main Street. So they really wanted Main Street in their park. So you walk into their Main Street, little nuances and changes, but at first glance, it looks just like the one in Anaheim. And so you feel like you maybe missed your flight. It's kind of an interesting deja vu feeling, but it's really cool. So what I'm saying is that some of the things that you see that you love from old that look a little different now because of digital or whatever, if you enjoy seeing some of the ways that people made stuff, then you're going to love it just the same on the big screen. And if you are someone that it kind of bothers a little bit, you're still going to love seeing it on the big screen. It's really nice to see how amazing it looks on a big screen, but it looks small because it's small. All of a sudden you go, I think I'm watching this on a big TV set. Because many of you guys, your home theaters at home would make it bigger even, or feel bigger anyway, right? My husband also said he couldn't get over how white and pretty Julie Andrews' teeth are. They just go, yeah, at you, you know? But I like it better when you see things like little Michael and he has a tooth coming in. When he smiles, you can see that he not only has his little teeth, but he's got a baby tooth on the outside, his other one. And Walt didn't make him pull that tooth and wait till that came in. He took that because that's the charm that makes him a real boy, doesn't it? To see that little kids could identify that if they had a tooth coming in. I think they would really enjoy seeing Michael with that tooth coming in, which is fun. And then how crooked and little stained and way off Dick Van Dyke's teeth are, which I love. Okay, I love teeth that aren't perfect. Maybe because mine aren't. And I think it just makes the people more real when it's not a makeup effect. Okay, a lot of people do the scraggly teeth, but that's a makeup effect. That's someone who takes a casting like you get at the dentist's office and then they sculpt the teeth. I've done it. And you pop them in and they have different teeth, like in Mask, when Jim Carrey had to work with those teeth, which were hard, but he actually took lessons in Mask to work with those teeth that were so big and bright and you know which ones I mean. Anyway, that is a makeup effect as well. And today, I don't know if they would just do something like make their teeth green and then draw them in. But I think that might be hard because if the actor doesn't actually get to feel the teeth in the mouth, it's hard to make it work, which is why when you watch some of these Hammer films and they've got their fangs in, they have trouble talking because they got to talk around the vampire fangs. So it's kind of fun to watch those movies and know that's, when they had time to act and learn how to work with their fangs, and then those times when they don't get to. So all of that's cool. Let's go over and see what you have to say, shall we? I hope you enjoyed this little observation of Mary Poppins. It was such a joy to see this movie and to hear Rob Richards play. And I highly encourage you to go to the El Capitan for any kind of movie because Rob always opens. There are other ones that other organists that play as well. So if you want to hear Rob, you may have to call the theater and say, can you tell me his schedule? Because according to Rob, they will tell you his schedule. A lot of people call because they want to hear Rob. So you can reach out to the El Capitan and say, can you let me know the next time Rob's playing, or what's his schedule this week, or whatever. And you can go hear him. I'm sure the others are good too, but Rob is the keystone there, in my opinion. So if you want to go hear the keystone, that's what you do. And thank you again to Antiquities and Collectibles for inviting me and making me a part of it. And they're here on Facebook, so go, put them in the search engine and follow them because they're lovely people. So I hope you enjoy it. They always grab people like myself. They're going. They talk to people like Bob Gurr, or I know they want to talk to Floyd Norman. They're going to talk, and it's kind of neat because for us, rather than us talk about what we do, which we do talk about that, they tend to dig into some of the things that aren't necessarily something we discuss much. In my case, the Rocky Horror Picture Show came up. I played Magenta for 2 years at a midnight show, 2 midnight shows, midnight and 2 a.m. And it was interesting because you pull out certain artifacts of pictures and things that are there. So it really is interesting. I highly, if you're a Disney person and you like to look at the older, more vintage stuff, that's what that page is about. That's what that podcast is about, and I really enjoy hearing it and watching and listening to it. So there you go. Okay, it was really nice of them to do that for me. So I really thank them. And then Dan DeMeyer, I thank you for picking me up and taking me there because parking is scarce in Hollywood. Hi, David. Just missed the tribe talk. Migrated here today. I'm glad you did, David. My Monday is going a little late, and I have a little bit of a throat thing. You may hear me being raspy afterwards. I'm going to take some rest. Yeah, I've got to because it was a long weekend. So I feel you today, my lad. Thank you for joining us here. Glad to hear the Crump Chest set is back on track. I wouldn't say it's back on track. It's always been in my mind, David. It's always been something I've got to get done. And I have yet to contact a few people and let them know what I'd like to do and see what they say. Because after all, I think Rolly would really be happy if it released in October, his favorite month of the year, obviously, right? So we'll see. We'll see what people say. But yes, I will build it. I will build it, even if I only get to build one to give to his wife. But I know that's not going to happen. Already, many have said that they want to see it come to fruition in one way or another. So stay tuned. Hello, there he is. Hi, Daniel. And again, thank you for being my chauffeur on Saturday. I really appreciated it. Hi, Linda. Daniel says it was phenomenal. It was, and we had so much fun and really good popcorn. You know, I wanted another bag, but luckily I knew we were going to dinner, so I was a good girl. So, yeah. See, I think I need to stop talking for a while. Just nonstop, right, guys? Yeah. David says Mary Poppins is the purest and greatest form of Walt Disney's magic. I got to tell you, David, watching it on the digital screen was fascinating. I really enjoyed it. I really, really loved it. I mean, I saw it 30 years, a little over 30 years ago, and it was still film, and it was different. And I don't need to tell you that, David. You're a historian, and honestly, it was. Gosh, I'm really grateful to all the people at Antiquities and Collectibles for inviting me and my husband. We had a marvelous time. Hi, Linda. Deanna, I was talking about you today on the Tribe channel. And those of you who want to know what the Tribe is, let me just pop that up for you, because I wouldn't be me if I didn't. Patreon.com/Terri Hardiin is where you can be a part of Terri's Tribe, my Patreon page. It's where like-minded people learn about how to make a living doing what they love and talking about all things that give them passion. It can be the rocket scientists we have, the ambassadors that we have, the philanthropists that we have, the Legoites that we have, the Marvelites that we have, the Star Warsites, the Disneyites, and yours truly. So if you want to be a part of it, $5 a month gets you in, and you can hang with us. I do a Zoom call every week, and I also do a broadcast before I come and join you here. Please join us. Your voice needs to be heard. I'd love to have you. And there you go, right? There you go. I should have really done that, right? Yes, yes, yes. I'm going to pop yours back up, Deanna, because on the Tribe page today, we talked about the amazing cat blanket, meaning that if you have a lot of cats and they lay on you when you're in a recliner or curled up in your bed and you're having a little pain or you're not quite getting to sleep, once they turn their little furry motors on, you cannot resist falling asleep. And a very dear friend of mine, a new friend, a sister of one of the tribe member Michelle Dwinell, her sister was telling me the other day that she was having trouble sleeping, and then all of a sudden the cat brigade came. She has 4 cats, and they all laid on top of her, and they started their motors, and she went right out. So Deanna, I thought of you and your cat family and thought you probably have the same situation. Hello, Joel Christopher Payne. How are you? Great to hear from you. How nice of you to pop in and say hello. Mike, how am I? Can you hear? I got to stop talking, Mike. it's been a long day's journey into night, if I can use a quote. Um, I've had a lot of adult stuff to do, and I'm ready to get back into the art world, which is why I'm here. Um, if I stay in my office and I don't go into my studio where I have the cool switcher and a way to really show you pictures properly or things I want to share with you properly, it's because my art is in that studio. And that's what I want to be doing, but I have to be an adult about it. That's what I'm talking about. I have adult things I must take care of first. So my art has become my carrot, you know, and I'm not it's part of my DNA, and I'm sure you all can identify with this being part of your DNA. And if you don't add to your DNA and something's missing, you're a little broken. And so I've been a bit challenged this past couple of years actually, and I know you've all faced your challenges too. And you can feel yourself going, I just want to, you know, I see the light at the end of the tunnel. I want to get there so I can get back to being myself, and that's me. So I do see the light at the end of the tunnel. There is more adult stuff that I must do. That adult stuff will be happening, but it will then take its place in the deeper recesses of my body and mind, and then I can get back to my art because I really miss it and I really need it. Um, yeah, okay. People writing me when I'm broadcasting. I wanted to make sure it wasn't important, but yeah, again, um, yeah. So today I'm a little bit off because it's a Monday on top of everything else. And Monday's kind of a hold tight to the tail of the comic kind of a day for me. So there you go. So it's nice that you always ask me, Mike, and I'm very grateful that you do. And I'm hanging in there, buddy. I really am just hanging in there. Joel is so sweet. Thank you, Joel. Joel says I'm inspiring. He is too. Um, yeah, it's just I want to be those of you who are new to this channel or you're watching it after I'm truly live, which might be right now. I just want you to know that you have these days, don't you, where you're just kind of not that you're just maybe you're crawling through it or you're getting through it as best you can. You're looking to stay as upbeat as possible. But sometimes it's not, it gets you. I lost my father last year, but I was fighting for him for over 2 years. It wasn't an easy thing, but I had to be the adult. My father said, "You're the one that can." I have a sister, and he said, "You're the one that needs to do this for me, Terri." And my mother said the same thing, and I said, "Okay." But I'm the artist. I like to be playing in paint and playing in clay and playing in whatever I want, sculpting, building, creating. And honestly, that's my world. And I love to talk with you and visit with you and to tell you you have the right to make that your world as well. But we have responsibilities to our families, don't we? Especially to my parents. My dad is and will forever be my hero. He was my inspiration. And he always said poison isn't effective unless you take it. And being of mixed races, that was really helpful because a lot of people bullied me when I was a kid, and I'm sure you've had the same situation. I don't corner the market on bullying. I'm not the only one that was bullied. But we all were, weren't we? And we soon realized that the bully is the one that's got the problems, not us. And you kind of wonder, why a person feels good by taking it out on you. But unfortunately, there is that twist in the world, and you got to kind of hang in there, which is why we come together here, and especially on my tribe, and talk about it. We talk about more intimate things on Terri's tribe, things that I can't do out in the open for the pages, because regardless of what anyone may think, people have questions. And with today's world jumping to conclusions about you and what you are or whatever, it's best to do it behind the closed door of a private Facebook page. Someone can ask me a direct question and I won't get offended, no matter how direct it is, because I realize that many of you are out there just trying to make sense of this crazy world that we're in. So everyone's voice needs to be heard. Everyone should be a part of Terri's tribe because everyone has something to contribute and to say and to help others. And I, of course, do. So this means a lot to me, Joel. And I want to thank you so much for saying that. Your timing couldn't be better, my dear. Linda said, Miss Tribe, because I was at physical therapy for my knee. How is that knee, Miss Linda? You can't miss physical therapy. And you can always go back and watch it later. That's the good part. Hey, Terry, how's your mom? I did get to see my mom on Friday. And I got to tell you, there's this weird thing happening. Not weird, odd. Not odd, interesting. My dad had these keys, and they seem to be the thing that is a thing the family wants. People in my family want it. Let me just keep it kind of general like that. And it's a bit confusing for me. But my mom got on this key subject, and she said, I want to have those keys. And I said, okay. We found them in the house. I won't go into detail, but we found the keys. And my mom said, I want them. And I said, okay, you can have them. Not that we're going to take them to the convalescent hospital where she is, but I will store them for her safely. And that way, when she wants to see them, I'll bring them, show them to her, and then put them in that place. So she's doing great. She's full of vinegar as usual. And she got a real bonus because I went to see her on Friday. And then after that, one of the young boys that she took care of came to visit her too. He has now his own family. He's married and has 3 children. So mom is really happy to hear about his kids and to see him. He's a big kid now. He's a big kid now. He's a big kid, and he's someone she loves very, very much. So I was able to, after my couple of hours with her, Mike, he got to spend a couple of hours with her. He brought her a hot dog, and I know she was delighted to chow down with him. And he's a lovely guy. His name is Tyler, and she was really excited to see him. So really special, really, really special. Hang in there, darling, says Jeanette. I will, because of people like you, Jeanette. You got it. You guys keep me afloat. And I'm good. I'm good. It's just that I need rest. I mean, you can hear it in my voice, and I'm sure you can see it in my face. Maybe my glasses make me look, better. But when I take them off, don't I look tired? These don't make me look like Mr. Magoo, but with the big round eyes. But they certainly make my face look better today. Thank you, honey. That's so sweet of you, Miss Jeanette. Nia's weak. It takes time at my age. It takes time at most ages, Miss Linda. So you hang in there and love on that knee, and we send kisses directly to your knee like your mom used to do when you scuffed. And we're thinking about you, and you just keep up the good fight with that lovely knee of yours. David says, everyone be well and safe. David, you too, buddy. You too. Jeanette says, my daughter is watching you at the same time from Florida. Hi. Yay. See, that just sent me up another notch. Thank you so much. Oh, I really appreciate it. Stay creative. We can all follow David's words on that one. Yeah. Today I'm going to rest. I'm not going to talk much. And there is a auction that's coming up for Chuck Jones called the Red Dot Auction. Many of the tribe is involved in it. And if you're an artist and you want to donate a painting, Google Red Dot and then reach out to the curators of it. It's coming up. And I think I'm going to work on mine digitally, because one thing I love about digital art is it works faster than I think. So I come up with some really fun ideas. Whether anyone will buy them or not, I don't know. But I like them. And that's kind of the point when it comes to art, isn't it? Do you like it? And I'm really excited to work more on those. So I'll do that today and just kind of kick back and relax and maybe sit in the sun and watch my dog or whatever. But I really need to do something like that, because it's been a while. It's been a while. I did get my taxes done. One adult thing checked off. So it's with my professional, and I'm very glad. He has a deadline. You want your taxes in, and you want your taxes to not be extended. You have to be in by this date. And that was really challenging because I had a lot of other stuff happening. But he said, this date, young lady. And we managed to get it there. So yay for us. Yep. Hi, Terry. I'm on my lunch break. Love ya. Liz, happy lunch. Yay. I have a little bit of toast here that I haven't finished. I won't subject it to my chewing, but I'll eat that up after I'm done. But enjoy your lunch. Thank you for sharing lunch with me today. So sweet of you. Love your history knowledge and your creativity. Linda, you are so nice to say that. Terry's history is cursory. Do you know what I mean? I'm not like, well, you see that David Skipper is on today. David's history goes deep, as does Leo Holzer. Y'all know Leo, another deep dive into Disney history. We also have, let's see, we've got Leo, we've got David, and mostly Joe Penny, which I don't see here today, but he's another historian. However, Joe is a passionate individual. Joe is so cute because if Joe doesn't show up on one of my feeds, I wonder if Facebook has banned him for another month. And this is because he gets passionate. He's really cute. He's like Merriweather. I kind of think of, not that he's a girl, but that he's got that cute little, I'd like to, and sometimes they get him riled up and he speaks his mind in a way that maybe Facebook doesn't think he should. But he's a really good person. I always get a kick out of Joe. Very frank, very straightforward, always there to make sure he corrects me, which I appreciate because honestly, Linda, my knowledge is cursory. And I think that's why discoveries happen for me, like in Mary Poppins. I think people like David and Leo and people like that, they knew of these things that I spoke of, but I didn't. And that's part of the fun of these little discoveries. I hope that all of you will take a look at Mary Poppins and look for some of the things I told you about, especially that maniacal horse. Come on now, what's up? Was that people kind of punking us? Was that Walt's kind of laugh, kind of giggle? Is that supposed to represent the author of Mary Poppins who wasn't really thrilled with what he did with Mary Poppins? I don't know, but look at that horse. All the other horses are calm and complacent, and that one is on a tear, man. Wait till you see that horse. You're going to flip out. If you haven't seen the blue horse, check out the blue horse. I didn't put a picture up today because that's not my thing. But that blue horse in the merry-go-round sequence of Mary Poppins and the race sequence, you will not believe the face on that horse. That's little Michael's horse. Wait till you see that horse. If you've seen it, you know what I'm talking about. If you haven't seen that horse in the original Mary Poppins, you got to check out that horse. And then if you know about that horse, please post in the comments, what's up with that horse? Why does Michael get the crazy horse? That horse looks, maniacal. He looks like if he gets too close to the others, he might bite them. I go, don't get your hand too close to that horse. He doesn't look friendly. I mean, in a very calm situation in Mary Poppins. If you haven't seen it, you're going to get a giggle. Wait till you see that horse. And then when you see the race, don't look at the key horse, which would be Mary Poppins' horse, of course, the one that she rides or the young girl rides. You've got to watch the Michael's horse because from every angle, that one is a dangerous animal. So be sure and check him out. Yep. And thank you, Linda. There's my history right there. So guys, I'm going to motor. My voice is raw. My eyes are half masked. So I'm going to give you my hugs and my kisses and do something nice for someone else. It'll make you feel a whole lot better. Thank you all for joining me today. Thank you for the loves and likes I see up here. You are so kind to give me some hearts and do that, thumbs up, all of that sweet stuff that you're doing. I want to thank you for that. I guess I'm hitting some topics that you all like, and I appreciate that. I will work harder, but you can always post in the comments or message me as to what you'd like to hear about. You can hear about things in my career that have nothing to do with Disney, my Ghostbusters history, my history as a young person, what was it like growing up white and a half black, half white, half mixed as a mixed girl at a time when there were fountains for white people and fountains for black people. What do you do? Any kind of question you have, if I can't answer it for you, I'll answer it later, or I'll tell you I can't. So fear not. And if you have a deep, deep question you want to ask me, consider joining Terry's tribe. Okay, patreon.com/Terri Hardiin. It's $5 a month. There is a yearly membership, but I haven't flipped that switch yet, simply because I want you guys not to feel like you're stuck there. I don't want you to have golden handcuffs. I want you to be able to exit if you feel like you want to exit for whatever reason. Mine is not to trap you. I want only the people who wish to be there. I mean, I think that's all of us, right? So, so please go check it out, patreon.com/Terri Hardiin. If you think you want to, spend $5 a month, it's very important you have skin in the game, because then I will. And it's a great place to be. The people are amazing. So I hope you will be. Hugs and kisses, back to back. Mike says, "Hey, Terri, I like the part when the announcer says, 'This is ABC,' in his deep voice. 'This is Terri TV. And see you later.'" Bye for now.